Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. So in today's episode, I think I wanted to try to cool down this area a little bit. I also wanted to maybe reach the edges of the map, although I think it's a big ask right now, especially since I don't really have that many Atmos suits. And finish kind of shelling off what will be the base. I think I went a little overzealous with the size. This is a lot of space, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with it just yet. But it's there when I want it. I do also have these bristle blossoms just being forced to be swept up. I don't want them sitting on the ground so they don't just rot away. The next thing is Pei actually has her 2 extra points, so I am going to get that skill scrubber down. We don't really have a lot of refined metal right now. I want to try to avoid using this rock crusher if possible. For those who don't know, the rock crusher takes input and then gives you half of the same mass back as the output, whereas the metal refinery is 1-to-1, which is why I want to get this up, since it's not wasting resources. But we can't really make use of this until this geyser's active, and that won't be for a little while longer. So we're going to put Pei in here. And this does take a while, so we may have to have her come back in later. So now we've got Pacu Filet. We can set that also to forever, and turn it off in the consumables so they don't eat raw food. I think now too, since we're not farming these anymore, but we are getting some from down here, we'll set this to be forever turned into pickled mayo, just so we have a food supply. Right now we're doing really good on food, but most of it is muckroot, so that will disappear eventually. The only thing I'm really worried about is the bladder. I think we're just going to have to send it. What we might actually be able to do to speed it up a little, although I think it's a little too late. And I don't even know if this works, I'm just kind of curious. Most of these bars usually go faster when they're in light. Yeah, too little, too late. I don't even know if she finished. No, she did not. We'll have to put her back in then. And we do have our first dupe stick with Slime Lung, sadly. Because of the Slime Lung, they end up being a lot slower, using a little more oxygen, and also they stop to cough. We could set up a medical bay, but honestly it's easier to just wait it out. In the case of the zombie spores, where is it? Here it is. You would want to cure that, but hopefully we shouldn't have anyone infected with zombie spores. I don't know how you all feel about this, but whenever I see just the idle skill scrubber, I think these dots are just supposed to represent that it's padded, but it kind of looks like someone just staring out at you from the inside of it, and it always creeps me out. Oh, there she goes. But now she's all good. So we're going to put her right into it. We'll give her the fancy hat, too. Now, most of the supplying stuff, which is why we need the Mechatronics, takes refined metal, which we don't have too much of. I'm willing to make use of the Rock Crusher, but not extensively. I do think now is probably a good time to finish outlining the base. I think we're going to keep it mostly flat, except for this. We're going to make it protrude a little out here. I want to keep this in the base so they can always be using this. Let's do it here. That isn't sand, so it shouldn't fall. I think actually, if we want to keep it more in line, we'll just go straight through here. Up. We'll worry about actually building it later. I want to keep this. I think I am going to dig this out, but we're not going to leave this as part of our base. If we can keep the area where the lighter gas is pooling up here, that would be good. Plus our dupes won't be coming up here too much. I think for now, though, we will keep this boxed in. But later on we will. Actually, we'll just do it now. Just leave the ladder there. We can seal it off later. Since we are doing that, though, I do want to start clearing out all this debris that's just in our base. This does mean a lot of these gross gases are going to start entering our base, but eventually they will settle, and we'll deal with them once they do. This. And I'm just going to do this whole area, and we'll set up ladders accordingly. We'll keep this on a low priority so they don't focus on it. I think we are just gonna clip off that whole section, uproot that. That should get destroyed when it comes time. We're actually gonna put in a second fire pole right here. Let's go all the way up. And the pole I do want up sooner. Because we're already back to our long commutes. Yeah, it's probably because of all this area down here. So usually this off-gassing is actually an issue. However, later on, we're going to make use of it to produce our oxygen kind of in the same way of how we're doing now. I think it's a good intermediary point between these oxygen diffusers and the electrolyzers, because the electrolyzers take a lot of water, whereas this is a method that uses polluted water to make oxygen. We will build that just to keep all the gases flowing through here, but later on we'll get rid of it. All of these, the insulated tiles, I'm just going to put on a really high priority. That way, once they get the chance, they will build it. How are our germs looking? Yeah, it's kind of all over now. These bristle blossoms are holding them back, but they can only do so much. We will probably have to reset the timer in this. I think it would be a good idea to get a second rancher. I wonder why she's focusing on this over these. I imagine this is a rancher task. I think the issue is we're having so much polluted oxygen just kind of intermixed that even though it's dying on the oxygen, once it hits the polluted oxygen, it's just regrowing again. The only solution I can really think of is to... I want to see where our power lines are first. Is to just set up more deodorizers that'll hopefully catch them. I think we'll put one. We already have a tile there, so we'll make use of it. We'll put a couple... maybe... there. I do want to, even though they're not the most spread out, I want them spread out a little bit so they can catch more. It's really this. This is producing so much. Like, these deodorizers are trying to keep up, but they're really struggling. And I think some of the gas is just escaping and floating up. I think we could try to make some medicine, but we don't have anyone. I don't think we have anyone who's good with medicine. Now, well, we are here, actually. Let's get some of these skills up. We're going to make you faster, give you construction, also give you proper hat. Devin, I think we'll just give him athletics. Otto, we also want him to have construction, since that's what they typically end up doing. Carrying capacity might be nice, actually. So we can just hold more stuff. We'll want her on farming. Also give her aesthetic design, since she's our artist. As for Lyra, I think we'll just go down the athletics tree for now. And same for Nicola. We also do want to start doing some more research. Let's go for catalytics. Mainly just to get these things, but why not get this stuff after it too? The radiant pipe's really nice. The pipe sensors are great. Thermosensor is good. The gas reservoir is really useful. And we'll just do this so they can get up there. Also gonna build these across, just so they can reach them. I think we'll build that ladder here, and we'll just have them come down. And then dig this out too, so they can actually reach all that. I think we're just gonna set this up like that. Spice grinder will be here. Might actually be better to shimmy some of this over so we can fit in some more decor items, because this area is not too good decor-wise. Now we're going to go back in, and we're just going to put a one-tile gap between everything so we can fit in some decor items. We'll put in you. Actually, I guess we want our fridge first. We'll put our fridge in, our microbe musher, gas range, and the spice grinder we really won't make use of, but it'll make this area a kitchen. It just makes it look nicer on the room overlay. Also put in sculpting blocks. Make them out of granite since they got that plus 20% decor. Oh, actually not these ones. Use the large sculpting blocks instead. There we go. I don't even know when we're going to make use of this gas range. We don't really have a source of natural gas yet. Oh, this is so much worse than I thought it would be. Yeah, this is why we don't like cracking into slime. Oh well, thankfully most of our base is far enough away. We want to get this submerged first, and then we'll set this to slime, just so we have a closer storage of slime. It isn't all the way up here, or, you know. And it'll help prevent some of this off-gassing, too. I think that's one of the reasons why we have so many slime lung germs, is because all of this slime is off-gassing. Where'd it go? I have no clue where that water just went. I don't know where the... We just saw that disappear. I don't know where it went to. Well, we got a new printable, so... I think we'll take the gold amalgam. Yeah, once we get this slime stored in here, we'll finally start getting a handle on all of this polluted oxygen and all this slime lung. I think we want one more bottle, and then we'll set this... we'll set to slime now, actually. That should be enough once this bottle is emptied. We're going to disable disinfect on this, because they're just going to keep trying, and it's not worth it. I think they did get most of the slime, though, that was around here, so that's good. Thankfully, there's just enough carbon dioxide to where these plants can grow. Still missing it on these, too. I wonder why these aren't appearing on her to-do list. That is an issue now, is these should be on separate circuits, separate automation. The timer will be good for both, but if we want these on the stone hatchling eggs, we'll put in a critter sensor here. So we can still use the same timer sensor. And then we'll just come up and down. There we go. Right, now they're on their own circuits. And no wonder that she wasn't doing it before, because she couldn't. This chlorine might actually help a little bit. Since it'll come down and maybe disinfect all this air. I don't think it's very good at that. But any little bit helps. Does mean we can get rid of these. Just be careful not to get rid of the wire underneath it. They are starting to fight back against it, so I think the slime was the big thing. And now most of the, I guess not all the bottles. There's just too much carbon dioxide down here for them to do much. Maybe, I don't know. Wherever they go, it's kind of devoid of any germs. Putting this on a higher priority so they do let all that fall down. There's not much more. Alright, so we will move all of this. Probably won't really need a skill scrubber anymore anyways. What I want to do is make something that's known as a... I think it's a pretty metal name to give it, but it's called an evolution chamber. Basically, it just is another way for us to use these eggs and turn them into meat. All we're really going to do, submerge the eggs so when they hatch, the creatures will drown, and we'll get the meat from it. And we do need quite a good amount of water. I think up to this tile, at least a little bit. But if they're blocked in, they can't do much about it. I think this is how I want to make the first use of our shipping. We'll plunk down a conveyor chute. And then we're going to take in from here. Which this is why, another reason why we wanted to keep this room small is so one auto sweeper could cover the whole thing. We'll just set one down for now since this is the only one that's really active. There. The good thing too is the dupes can reach in here and grab eggs. So I don't even have to worry about them bringing eggs out here. They will fill it if it's possible. We do have another printable, so you can take the seeds. I don't even want to look at them. I don't want to be disappointed by having to miss out on a good dupe. We will seal this in. Can't reach that one yet, so we'll build up a ladder to it. Because we do have access to this, we actually have a ton of reed fibers around. I'm a little more willing to make our Atmos suit forge. Or a suit forge, I think is what it's called. Yeah. Put it down right here. We will need more refined metal for it. Everything's kind of just waiting on this to get active again. We'll just start with this one for now. We'll put down another auto sweeper later when we're actually ready for it. We'll turn it like that. We'll come here, go up. Maybe it's better to just go straight up, actually. We'll crack that open. Actually, just have them go all the way down, too. I'm going to try to avoid this slime for now. I don't want to deal with more of it. I will put this on a high priority. So Pei is the only one who can do this, so it's all on her. At least for the building. I think anyone can supply it. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how much water it is, so we're just going to go until this area is decently full of water. For these, we do need power, too. I do want to get rid of this for now. This is just kind of an eyesore. If we need more, we'll put them down here where we actually need them. Yeah, I think we're finally starting to get this under control. instead of tens of thousands, not just a couple thousand. And most of the, not all of it, but most of the polluted air is gone, or polluted oxygen. The bleach stone will be off-gassing, but it shouldn't be off-gassing polluted oxygen. Alright, so over here, I think we will wait on it. It's a lot of refined metal to produce one of those. We're getting pretty close to our... I think it's once we get our cool slush geyser up, we'll definitely go for it. Oh, I didn't realize that was overfilled. Okay, stop that here. Mop up the rest of this. That was a little too much. Oh, it'll be fine. And we're gonna lock this door so it never opens again. Definitely enough water, at least. Now, I wanted this really close to the kitchen, that way they just come over, grab it, and use it. I am actually, instead of this ration box, because it's kind of not very space efficient, I'm just going to put down 2 unpowered refrigerators. They'll still benefit from the carbon dioxide. As for research, I think we're going to go for the low resistance conductors and the renewable energy. Mainly for the stuff here. You know the drill. Charles also has his second point, so we're going to do that and give him his new hat. Put Devin the exosuit. Leroy will also get suit wearing. And Nicola will get exosuit. We could hook these up to power and they'd probably last. If it becomes an issue, we can disconnect them later. We got another printable, so... I think we're just going to take the Joya seeds. Perfect. Alright, so now we're just going to put in eggs. So, if this works right, it'll suck up the eggs, it'll deposit them. They'll go up and through. This is a much better use anyways. So this will be a while. We're going to have to wait until this fully incubates, which is 20 cycles. But once the system gets set up, it is free food forever. I'm going to see if I can get them to move that egg to here, and then they'll just sweep that up. I don't know if they will. I've always had issues with the move to command. You know, this one won't turn on, but these ones will, when obviously provided the egg. I would like to make use of this whole supplying thing to drop the coal off here too. For that we need a solid filter, or could I put in another one of these? I can. I think I might just do that. And we'll just deposit it. I guess we don't have to go up that far. I think we're starting to run out of research to do. Let's go for these. The solid control and the solid management. The receptacle is what we really need. The rest of this, a little filter could be useful. We'll do the same down here too, but we just need more refined metal right now. All that's waiting on this geyser. Depending on how cold it comes out, we might just funnel it around a couple of times. You can actually make use of some of this automation, I believe, maybe in the plumbing. Yeah, liquid pipe thermosensor, so we could check the temperature of the water, and then if it's too hot, we could do something else with it. I don't know what yet. Once again, it's all going to depend on how hot that liquid ends up being. I do want to, too, before I forget, put the Joy seeds in, actually. They're just a little more hardy, and I think they might even be better than the Briar seeds. It still doesn't really solve our issue, though. This area is starting to get a little too hot. The only solution being taking advantage of these Wheezeworts. I think we're gonna just ever slightly crack into. The issue is that it's really cold and the dupes do not want to be in here. Maybe we'll snag this one. That one might be better. We'll shimmy all of this over one. Again. I'll put it right here. I think most of the heat's produced here, between these two things. No, I think it's between these two. There we go. And we're going to put down a planter box, and now we're just waiting for that Wheezewort. Also, though, try to access some of the sleet wheat. It's free food. We want to make use of it for our berry sludge, which is a really good food item. and also uses the bristle blossoms that we're already taking advantage of. I'm not going to go too hard on it. I don't want them spending too long here. Also got another printable. We'll just take the amalgam. And now we're just waiting on a Wheezewort. I can't even put it in yet. And now we've got it. If someone will grab the seed. Someone will grab the seed. There we go. So all the Wheezewort does is it takes in gas and outputs it 4 degrees cooler. It's going to help keep this area a little cooler. In fact, it might actually work a little too strong eventually. What we're also going to do to help it out is use one of these temp shift plates, which just spreads temperature in a 3x3 around the tile wherever you place it. Here and here. As we can see, it's already drastically cooling down this area. Reach all that. Reach that. I guess we're going to have the same issue here, aren't we? Yeah, see, they still haven't moved it. I don't really know why. Yeah, this was orange before, now it's all yellow again. And this will just keep going and going and going. We will have to keep an eye on it. If possible, we want to leave all of this wild slateweed intact, because then we don't have to feed any of it, but it'll still keep producing food for us. It'll be 4 times slower. You can't argue with free. If it comes to it, we might shrink down this base a little bit. But having a big open space where they can freely walk around in is good. And do their work. Right now, there's not much work to be done. That's my job, is to give them more things to do. But yeah, we're finally starting to kill down all these slime lung germs. Surprised they died so quickly. It must have been due to all the chlorine. We still do have a couple of dupes with slime lung, and we're going to have that issue soon enough again when we crack into this. Not the most eventful episode, but I think we got a lot of important things done today. I think with that, I'm going to end it here.